against this happening?
Fear.
Fear.
Rejection.
What was the other one?
Rejection.
Okay.
Not a big enough why.
Yeah, I give you, normally I shouldn't be helping you with here. I give you some discipline.
Schedule.
Not a big enough why.
Mm. All right, so looking at the Ben Franklin close, what side is winning out?
Four.
This right here is a good technique to use whenever you're at somebody's house and they want to make a decision, or let's say they are fearful of making a decision. While we're talking about listings, let's say that you're at somebody's house and you've done your whole entire listing consultation. And you get down to the end of it, and then you say to them, okay, well, look, why don't you guys go ahead and authorize the paperwork, and why don't we go ahead and get the ball rolling? And let's say that they say, well, we wanted to get more money for our house. So we're not getting enough money for our house. Okay, there's a lot of different ways you could try to answer that. Here's where you could go. Okay, so in other words, you guys, you feel that you want to get more money for the house?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. And I know it can be a challenging decision, so why don't we do this? You know, Ben Franklin was one of America's most wisest Americans. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And if you remember, Ben Franklin had to make a lot of decisions. And if you remember, Ben Franklin was the ambassador to France. Ben Franklin was a signer on the Declaration of Independence. And Ben Franklin was an inventor. So he had to make, obviously, a lot of decisions, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what old Ben Franklin would do. Whenever he had to make a decision, he would take out a sheet of paper and he would draw a horizontal line across the top, and then he would draw a vertical line through the center. And what old Ben would do is he would write the reasons for making a decision on one side. Then he would write the reasons against making the decision on the other side. So right now, you guys are saying, obviously, you wanted to get more money for the house. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's look at this. Okay, so let's write the reasons for and the reasons against. Okay. Now, you guys said the reason that you wanted to sell the house is that you wanted to move into a bigger house. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's number one, bigger house. Okay, so why don't you just go ahead and just list that right there. Okay, one of the other reasons that you wanted to move is that you wanted to have your daughter in the so-and-so school system. Is that correct? Okay, and the other reason is that you wanted to be in the such and such a community. Is that correct? So why don't you write that there? Okay, and then one of the other reasons is that you said that by moving to the new location, your daughter would then be able to play sports in the so-and-so and so-and-so league. Okay? And then one of the other reasons for the house is now you would have more bedrooms and more baths in the bigger house. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay, so write that. And then the next one was the blah, 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 blah. And the next one was the blah, 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 blah. And then you also said the blah, 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 blah. And you also told me blah, 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 blah. And you also told me blah, 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 blah. And you told me blah, 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 blah. Now, all these things correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, you guys said that, let's look at the reasons against. And I want you to write these over here. And the reason against you said was you wanted more money. Now, I'm not writing. I'm not giving them the things. So basically, what are the reasons you said? And I'm going to shut up. They're going to say more money. Okay. What else did you have? Y'all can give me something, whatever. I don't care. What else did you have? Here's what's going to happen. At best, they're not going to have more than 3, if they have 3. How many did they have over here? 15. So if Ben Franklin were looking at this decision, what do you think old Ben would decide? Oh, okay. So why don't you go ahead and authorize the brokerage agreement so that I can get a sign order for you, we can get some traffic through this weekend, and we can get the home sold for you. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes.
Tie down. Okay? Don't forget this. This right here will make you thousands of dollars. Please grasp this. Don't take this lightly. Do not take this lightly. Because I don't think some of you really are sensing how deep this is. This is deep. You might not be getting it. Go home and let it marinate on this. I would dare say some of you have probably been in the room, have lost the transaction because you weren't aware of this or how to use it.
I've used it. I've
Don't
never
sleep
thought
on